Today, we introduced the House of Representatives China Task Force report. I was a member of the China Task Force, the co-chair of the competitiveness subcommittee. And the bottom line is we are in a global competition with China.
President-elect Donald Trump has nominated Mike Waltz as his national security advisor. The Florida Representative and retired Army Green Beret is a vocal China critic. Waltz has previously called for US readiness for a conflict in the Indo-Pacific region.
I think it's very important for the American people to see visually the trend lines of what's going on with our Navy and what's going on with the Chinese Navy. And these are according to DoD and Congressional Research Service numbers. Yesterday, the intelligence community briefed the Senate the much talked about timeline, and we basically have 5 years, 2027, until the Chinese Communist Party believes they have overmatch in the Western Pacific. But I'm not buying that we can make up for a 105-ship delta that they can concentrate all in one ocean with short supply lines. And the problem is, with your divestment strategy, we're at our lowest point at 2027 when they're at the highest point. And even when we come out of it, let's look at the next gen air dominance 2031, future frigate 2028, ready reserve fleet modernization 2030. That's all right around here. We still have these massive deltas. Gentlemen, I think we are being set up, and these budgets are setting us up to lose in a war with China.
He has also been a White House and Pentagon policy advisor for President George W. Bush. 50-year-old Waltz served 27 years in the US Army and National Guard, retiring during his second term in Congress. In 2022, he called for a boycott of the Winter Olympics in Beijing over COVID-19 virus origins and China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims. Waltz also advocates the strengthening of the US military to deter Chinese aggression towards Taiwan and neighboring nations. His appointment comes amid tensions with China over trade, military activity in South China Sea, and ideological differences. Waltz's position as NSA will mean likely deeper Indo-US relations at a time when India is navigating tough waters with its neighbor. His appointment, along with Tom Homan as border czar and Elise Stefanik as US ambassador to UN, propelled Trump's America First policy. Waltz's policy points to a less relenting US, which gives India an ally to stand up to China amid other issues like the Belt and Road Initiative. Europe and NATO will also need to revisit their strategies as US focus pivots to Chinese aggression. Waltz has, in the past, praised Trump for pushing NATO to increase defense expenses. He called for Europe to support Ukraine more and for US to withdraw aid, aligning with Trump's "Zelensky is the best salesman" remark. He also criticized the Biden administration for withdrawing US troops from Afghanistan.
Our enemy's bullets, listen to me folks, our enemy's bullets could give a damn about black, white, or brown, or about religion, or about gender, or about anything else. The only colors that matter in the foxhole are the red, white, and blue, baby. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing our military should care about. And that's the only thing our fellow soldiers care about. And that's the only thing President Trump cares about. Now, I want to tell you a story about the man, the leader, the commander-in-chief that is Donald J. Trump. We all remember Biden's disgraceful withdrawal from Afghanistan, the debacle and the stain on our national conscience that was. The 13 Gold Star families have to relive it every day, the ones that lost their sons and daughters that disgraceful day. Biden won't even take their calls. He calls it an outstanding success. He won't even take a meeting with him. Well, I called President Trump We talked about it, and he said, Michael, I would love to meet them. Get them up here. Get them up here to Bedminster. He was scheduled, folks, hear me on this. He was scheduled to spend an hour with them. You know how long he spent? He spent 6 hours with them. He met each one. He listened. He cared. One of the moms kind of leaned over to me and she said, do you think he'll sign a picture of my son? I said, oh, hell yeah, he will. Please ask. He will be happy to. And he spent hours more. And if that wasn't enough, he then has them up to dinner. And at the start of the dinner, he promised them this. When he gets back in the White House, he will release all the tapes, all the videos, all the records, all the emails, and give these families the accountability and the transparency that they deserve and that they will never get from Joe Biden. And then God bless this man. This is why I love this man so much. He had them laughing. He had these moms that have been through so much crying. He had them, I love this, we saw DJ Trump in action playing Sinatra, playing Phantom of the Opera. He had these moms dancing with their husbands. 2 of them came up to me afterwards and said, this was the best thing that had happened to them since they had lost their sons. That night with President Trump. Mr. President, Mr. President, you helped them heal. And I will forever, and they will be forever, and America will forever be grateful to you for that. Patriots, that's the Donald Trump that I've come to know. That's the Donald Trump and the Commander-in-Chief we all know. That's the Donald Trump the media never wants you to see. That is the Donald Trump we must have as Commander-in-Chief back in the White House this November. We need it, the country needs it, the world needs it, because we will once again have peace through America's strength.